Hi guys, so the Sony A7 V, the specs are out and I have some thoughts. Now I think the headline feature here that most of us expected is that finally we get uncropped 4K 60, which is awesome for all you Sony users out there, and we also get a 4K 120, albeit at a Super 35 crop, but I don't think that is expected at this price range, even though we do have that from some of the competitors. But what really caught my eye is that we don't get any internal RAW or we don't get any open gate. Now, RAW, not everyone needs to shoot RAW. I think that RAW has its place. I really like Canon's implementation with the S-RAW because if you're running and gunning, it is nice to be able to shift white balance in post, and I also think that RAW tends to handle mixed lighting situations a bit better. We also get RAW in cheaper cameras like the new Nikon CR, even though it has low compression, so the data rates are massive. But I think the bigger miss on Sony's part is not giving us open gate. I think a lot of us expect open gate in a camera released in 2025 going on into 2026. The S1H that I am recording this video in has had that since launch at 2019, or maybe it got it in a firmware update very close to launch. But still, for somebody like me, a content creator and somebody that delivers to social, having the ability to get both a 9x16 and 16x9 crop from the same source material is a massive time saver. I don't have to tell my talent that, all right, good take, and now you have to bring the same energy to the next take when I flip my camera over. That is something that I really appreciate not having to do, and usually also the talent. And I think lacking that feature is a big miss, unfortunately, on Sony's side, because a lot of the competition has open gate. The R6 Mark III has open gate, 7K RAW. The Panasonic's Pixie 6K, the 12K, and of course on my old trusty S1H. It is really a super useful feature, and I think a lot of us expect to have that now in 2025 going into 2026. But what I do think that the Sony users get is that same reliability. We get a nice bump in dynamic range. Of course, we will have to wait and see with the lab test results from CineD and Gel Undone, but the old generation claimed 14 stops of dynamic range, and now we're getting up to 16 stops, which will be really awesome and I think greatly appreciated by the Sony users. But guys, what are your thoughts? Are you getting a Sony A7 V or are you looking for something else? Are you surprised, disappointed, or happy with the specs of the Sony A7 V? Leave your comments down below and let's have a civil discussion. But that is it, you guys. If you like this sort of content, do give my video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. I do a lot of camera versus camera tests on this channel, so if that is something that you're into, subscribe for more content like that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Hej då!